Canada has legalized cannabis, and Ontario's being one of the more exciting cannabis markets. We're going to take a look as it expands to new retailers, brands, and products. So in this report, we're going to kind of explore some trends and behaviors of cannabis consumers in Ontario and analyze some different age groups and identify those groups and changes in some spending habits and different categories throughout the year, all coming up.
It's only entertainment.
Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast.
So who's behind the cannabis in Ontario? Looks like between the demographics, when you compare males and females from November of 2020 until November 2021, you can see that male spending has grown 75%. Female consumer spending has grown 58% in the same time period. With the lockdown, every generation is basically purchasing more, but with people going back to outdoor activities and whatnot, going back to work, things are dying down. In addition, what we're also seeing is inflation, people kind of cutting back. So all in all, we had some stellar years when we report on that. 171% year over year growth, nearing 150 million in sales. Millennials contributed 420 million in sales over the same period, an increase of 79%. And then Gen X, slightly more than their Gen Z age group, contributing 178 million in total sales. Looking at, again, year over year, but diving in a little bit deeper into the age groups in Ontario, looking at the focus on sales for November. All generations demonstrated kind of a strong year-over-year growth. Millennials are the largest portion of Ontario sales. Gen Z's got the strongest growth among all age groups. So consumers are continuing to age into the market of their total share, but Gen Z more than doubled from November of 2020 to 2021 with 137% increase. So pre-rolls gained another 5% of the Gen Z spending, reaching a total of 20% last year. Flower sales dropped 5%. Similar trend in millennial age group, flower spending dropped like 9%, but vape pens gained 6%. You look at the Gen X baby boomers, also trending similarly, although pre-rolls only gained about 4%. Looking at Gen Z and breaking down male and female, specifically a few differences between those age groups in Ontario, that Gen Z males and females spent roughly the same amount of wallet share on flower, around just shy of like 53 and 52%. Males spent a little bit more on vape pens compared to their female counterparts. But on the other hand, Gen Z females spent slightly more on pre-rolls than males. The Gen Z females were only buying about 5.5% of edibles. That's double their male counterparts, about 2.8%. Looking at some spending habits among Gen Z, the fastest growing group in the cannabis industry, to get a better understanding of that emerging trends. You can see that isolating the wallet spend of Gen Z female consumers and comparing Ontario to California and Alberta. So flower seems to be owning a larger part of the Gen Z female market share in Alberta and Ontario than in California. California leads those trends, so I would imagine that flower was going to drop down to low 40s in Alberta and Ontario eventually, as these new 2.0 rollouts finally hit and people grab what they want. But a lot of the substitution for flower spend in California is attributed to larger vape pens. People like that on the go. It's more discreet. Female Gen Z consumers are spending a lot more on flower in Alberta, 48%. So just slightly more than the 33% in California. So Gen Z females in Cali looking to differentiate the market and spending less on flower and pre-rolls, substituting more vape pens, edibles, concentrates. California spending 3 times as much on concentrates than the same demographic in Ontario. Maybe that's the quality is better. Maybe the price is, I don't know. California's prices are still pretty crazy on concentrate. So I'm not sure that that's going to be too much difference in pricing. Canada, Gen Z demographics had a head start to purchase cannabis over California. So individuals could start purchasing legal cannabis at the age of 19, but California is obviously 21. So Gen Z females, again, spending a lot more on flower, looking at year over year growth by demographic group, kind of Diving into flower category a little bit further, seeing that within the flower category, across the demographics, millennial males purchasing more flower, 147 million from June to November of last year. That's 37% of the total flower market during that period. And then, although it's not the largest wallet size, the Gen Z group, fastest growing group in that coming into age of the market. Gen Z males increasing spending 152%, females close behind 130%. So the two slowest growth rates, on the other hand, come from millennial females, 42%, and then Gen X females, 44%. So there's some unique trends that we can kind of see with the demographic groups, being that as the market is continuing to try to mature and expand with more competition, trying to keep track of all those trends in order to keep strategic decisions, examining the Ontario market, seeing what people are buying, when they're buying, how they're buying. You have to come back to the Talking Hedge and find out.
With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.